I'm Mary Curtis Ratcliffe, and we are standing in the Mercury 20 Gallery on 25th Street in Oakland, California. And I'm going to give you a tour of my current show called Casting Shadows. The impetus for this show came from these three pieces that I did for a small show in the back gallery, and I noticed that they cast shadows. So they're geometric abstractions, and one of our members, Nick Dong, said, well, how about trying to cast colored shadows? So that set me off on a long tour as to try to figure out how to cast shadows that were colored. So the first thing I did was I did this piece here called Spirals. And I used a medium called alcohol ink. And alcohol ink actually will cast colored shadows. When you see this piece, particularly parallel to the wall, you get a bit of color, and that's what I was after. Then from this point on, all the work that's in my show is from my photography. And we'll start with these three small pieces against the wall. And they all are double lit, so they're casting two shadows at the same time. These are from photographs that I've taken and then put onto these substrates, which are actually plexiglass, after I painted them with acrylic paint. Sometimes there's some colored pencil in there as well. So there's this first one, water totem, and then the second one also has some water in it, but it's from photographs that I've taken. This one was taken in a friend's apartment, or in a corridor of his apartment in Paris. I like the curvature of the staircase as it descended. Big Sur Creek, that's in Napa, California. Then the next one are three images of flowers: a dahlia, a rose, and a peony. Again, I painted the clear vinyl and then collaged it in place. The next piece is mostly black and white, and it has images of, on the top, petrified wood from Calistoga, California, then the inside of an aquarium in the middle, and at the bottom, those are raindrops on a pond in Michigan, actually. This piece is a little different because it's hung from the wall. Again, it was from a very kind of abstract photograph I took many years ago, and I can't even remember where I took it, but it was a double exposure, and I just liked the polka dots. So I projected the image onto these pieces of plexiglass, and I drew in all the color using alcohol ink pens. They're like markers, but they have alcohol ink in them, and they definitely cast colored shadows. So this is one of the ones that really works for that, for that goal, yeah. And this piece is called Pelican Landing, and it's images of pelicans that has been drawn onto heavy vinyl, transparent vinyl, using alcohol ink pens again, and then collaged onto a stainless steel frame. So the nice piece about this is that it casts shadows and one is on top of the other. So you get doubles and triple shadows. And these are pelicans that we went on a vacation in Belize, and there were many pelicans there, and so I kept taking photographs because I really love them. I think they're pretty amazing birds. While we were on the pelican theme, I also took these photographs at Lamantor Beach in Marin County, and this piece is called Flying North and Flying South. And each pelican is in a different position in their wingspan, and I like that variety. And then I painted the images with a French medium called Pabio, and it's thickly painted on here, so it doesn't cast much of a colored shadow, but the background is done with alcohol ink, and then I spritzed it with just pure alcohol to get the splashes. Now, the largest piece in the show is this piece called Skylight, which was printed with a big Japanese printer, and it's on 3/8" plexiglass, and suspended from the ceiling, so it will turn on its own or from some kind of air current. And the transparency of this piece inspired me to do others that you could see through. And there are 3 layers of ink here. And it's 48 inches in diameter. So then there's a few more pieces in the show, and this piece called Frondangle, from palm frond, and also on the island of, or the coast of Belize. And this piece is also on plexiglass, and it has, each piece has these Swivels, thank you. Swivels, which are actually fishing, from the fishing industry. And when I did it and hung it up in my studio, which is way smaller than this space, I couldn't really see what was going on with it. But when it got hung here, I could see that it was one of the ones that actually gave a real colored shadow. And it's been very well lit, so that affords this whole long greenish shadow in the background on the wall. So that is drawn in again with alcohol ink markers. This one is a little surprising because I thought I was going to use those markers on this one, but I didn't. I had them printed onto the plexiglass, and I put them together with the swivels, and then I hung it up and I looked at it and said, it's finished. There's no reason to do anything to it, it's done. So these are actually, they look like mushrooms, but they're not. They're jellyfish from the Monterey Bay Aquarium in California. So they're digital inkjet prints on plexiglass. Now, shall we do the one in the middle? Do this one? Okay, then second to last is aquarium. And these are fish that I found in a local fish store. I went in with my camera and I just started doing a fish photo shoot. And then I had the images printed onto the plexiglass very lightly, just so I could barely see them. And then I painted them with Pavillon, the French medium, really used to decorate wine glasses. And then in the back is alcohol ink. So they're all different fish, and the backgrounds have similar and sometimes different treatments. But they also cast a nice colored shadow. So this one was really fun, especially this fish here. It was really great fun to paint in all these little tiny scales. And I keep looking at the photograph, and then I do some more painting, and I keep looking back, and I'm trying to use the photograph, and then I do a little artistic license too in there. So the last piece in the show is again suspended, and it's actually a photograph of a branch, a tree branch that I found in Basel, Switzerland. And I had initially done the top part of the branch and then thought it looked really empty, so I flipped it and I did a mirror image and put the branch in at the bottom, but then it still wasn't finished. And I never showed it, but when I found out about alcohol ink, I added the blue, and then I felt like it was ready to show. So that concludes my show of casting shadows, and this is July 2022. So it's my solo show for this year. Thank you.